All right, we are live, Dave. Live in week 6 of the MDFL weekly recap show. Good games in the NFL this week. I didn't get to watch anything live after the earlier games, but man, were those a lot of fun. A lot of scoring, a lot of tight games. Some of the games that weren't tight ended up getting tight right at the end, and there were some surprise victories out there. So it's been a fun week in the NFL and here in the MDFL too.
We got 2 games left tonight. Atlanta, Buffalo, Chicago, Washington. 2 Monday night games. So still a lot of players left to play. A couple games still up in the air.
That's right. Go Bears.
MDFL.
All right. Well, let's kick into it. Let's get into it right away. We've got kind of a beating to start out with here, where we've got Buffalo and Baltimore, and Gavin is 1 win. Jeremy's had a bunch of tough weeks, and there was always a chance this was going to be bad luck for him. But, well, when Gavin rolled out Cooper Rush, I think that helped Jeremy feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, Cooper Rush putting up the big old negative 0.4, so it always hurts when you have a negative spot coming out of your quarterback spot. But Gavin comes in. Look, Gavin may have put up the white flag, starting a little selling mode this past week with a couple trades. Sitting there at 1-7, looking at the schedule he's got left. He's got 3 players left, 2 linebackers, Diablo and Sewell, and a cornerback left. Jeremy and his Bills, of course, he's up by 105 points. Still got London left and cornerback Benford. This one was over a long time ago. Guess we can just talk about Cooper Rush and his big old negative 0.4, which is really hard to do when you play a complete game. But the good thing for Gavin is he's not the only one that started Cooper Rush this weekend.
Yeah, a couple guys got locked into the Cooper Rush role. Gavin had another quarterback go for negative because Russ Wilson came into that game, threw a pass that was incomplete and went for negative 0.1. So, yeah, he should have just started Lamar. Of course, he couldn't because he was injured, so he did have to start a startable asset, which we had a question from Jason. So, guys, if this ever comes up for you, like you've got a last-minute injury, you weren't able to pick up a viable quarterback, even if you've got someone on your bench that is not starting, he can't be on a bye and he can't be out injured. But if he's not starting, he's a backup quarterback. Plug him in there. You're not going to get a penalty for it. So Gavin could have plugged in Russ Wilson, would have behooved him to the point of negative 0.3 points. But that is not a penalty. Starting a guy who's not going to get a lot of playing time, sometimes you don't have a choice. Yeah, poor Gav. It did start good for Gavin on Thursday because one of the guys he got from me in that trade was Dallas Goedert, who throws on a 37-point game. So I think Gavin came out thinking, hey, I got a chance at this thing, but it was all downhill after that. So that one is over.
I just noticed it's the battle of the 2 hardball coaches right there.
Oh, yeah.
They both played their hardball coach card.
Yeah, Gavin got points out of his. Baltimore got mollywopped and did not get any points. Big John didn't get any points for Jeremy, but it didn't matter. There was enough firepower on Jeremy's team. His linebackers performed pretty well overall. And even though it's not one of his better weeks, he's certainly getting the easy win here. He'll end up somewhere around 330, probably, maybe even a little bit higher.
Yep.
So, yeah, solid week for him and deserved win. Let's see if this one is it's got some bone or some meat left on the bone here.
Yeah,
taking on Joey.
Not too much. Joey's up by 76. He's got 2 players left. He's got DJ Moore and the offense. He's got an offensive line left.
Yeah.
Dan and his Browns coming in at 2-6. He's got 5 left, but not a whole lot of firepower. One of them's a punter, a kicker, and an offense. Not a lot of power there, but he does have Luvu, the linebacker, and Johnson, the cornerback. He's got some left, but I don't think it's enough to overcome the 76 points that he's chasing Joey. So,
yeah, very, very unlikely. I mean, the offenses, you could say, kind of cancel each other out. Although Joey having the Commanders against the Bears, horrible defense, probably going to get a solid 16, 17, maybe 20 points out of the Commanders. That alone should be enough for him. And then if DJ Moore does anything at all, it's just going to be a little bit of a cushion for him so he can sleep in on Thursday morning. But, yeah, I think Dan suffers a tough loss here. Again, he's going to fall to 2-6. Big win for Joey, who will move to 6-3 and stay in first place there in the East.
Yep. I was going to say he's going to stay on top of that NFC East as Buffalo Jeremy starts coming down.
Yeah, Jeremy moved. Damn dogs. Hold on.
Oh, the dog pound doesn't like it. Cleveland and the dog pound.
They're going nuts because my son is pulling up right now, and they know his car. So every time they hear his car, they go dog shit. I guess I was gonna say back shit, but it'd be dog shit. All right, try and move on before he comes busting in here.
All right, this one came out to be a little bit of a surprise. I'm surprised here. Pittsburgh come in at 6-2. Braxton and his Jets, he's 2-6, so they're on the opposite of the win-loss column there. After yesterday's results, we find out that Braxton and his Jets are up by 54. Who's still got 5 left. He's got some names too. He's got Debo, Bosa, linebacker, and Latimer and Watts still got to go. Justin and his Steelers, of course, he's got Josh Allen and Krosky Merritt and another player left. Not sure that that's going to overcome the 54. I think the Jets hang on to this game and actually get an upset in the MDFL.
Yeah, big game, huge game for Braxton's offense. I mean, they came to play.
Yep.
HN had obviously a really good game, his best game of the year. Rashad White is filling in nicely for Bucky. A.J. Brown, 6 catches, 80 yards. He didn't get a tutty, but still a better game than some of the ones he's been having. And then Sam Laporta comes in too and does well. Good play out of Marcus Jones, his cornerback, getting 28 points. So, yeah, all-around solid performance by Braxton. He's going to be way over 300 points when this thing's done and get himself a big win at 3-6. Maybe he just keeps on fighting. He's still 3 games behind in the East, but that's not unattainable. So maybe he somehow turns into a buyer here. Be interesting to see. We can cover mine and finish off because we've done.
If you want to touch on yours, that's fine.
Let's do it.
I've got you up by 88 points over Rich and his Dolphins. You've got 3 left. You got Bajan, punter, defensive end. Miami's got Ellis and safety Martin left. Not enough to overcome the 88. You're going to jump up to 8-1. Rich is going to fall to 4-5. Probably fall into that number 3 spot in that AFC East. You'll be chasing both Jeremy and Joey in that division.
Yeah, it's a tough loss. I was hanging out with Rich a little bit yesterday. We were having some bourbon and watching the games. And, yeah, there was a time there where it looked like – I mean, it was pretty neck and neck, and then had some good performances. Guys pulled away. Rico Dowdle didn't stop running the ball. I mean, 30 rushes for him, 183 yards, and a receiving touchdown as well. That guy proved to be the right play. I caught some flack for not starting Scadaboo, and I guess I should have started him over McCaffrey, but not going to do that. So, yeah, Rico Dowdle ended up being the appropriate play there in the revenge game. That was a big reason for me. He's going up against his old team. I'm like, yeah, he's going to run hard. He's going to run nonstop, and he did so. So, yeah, sorry, Rich. Definitely put you in a bad situation here, being 4-5 now. Yeah, I think Rich is trying to make that decision. Does he start selling? He feels like he's got a tough conference or a tough division and a tough schedule remaining. So, if you're looking to buy, maybe Kyron Williams is going to be on the move again. You just bought him, and he may be looking to push him off again. So there's a guy to call and just see which direction he's going. So since I'm going to 8-1, come on in, dude. Since I'm going to 8-1, I'm really watching this game right here.
This game is of interest because Aaron just came back. Aaron's first game back in the league. Eric and his Jaguars he's 8-0. He's got 6 players left. Aaron and his Raiders are up by 86 points. He's got 1 player left, running back James Cook. Eric's got Daniels, quarterback, either Burton or Kincaid. He's got a flex option there. Cornerback Stevenson, safety either Bishop or Brisker. He's got a choice there, and linebacker in Wagner. So he's got some firepower left. Whether or not it's enough to overcome the 86 plus James Cook, I'm not convinced of that. I think Cook goes for probably 20-some points tonight with him trying to run the ball against Atlanta, and running the ball against Atlanta is pretty easy. So,
yeah, not the best run D. I think I agree with you. I think it's going to be tight. It's going to have to be watched all the way to the end. But at the end of the day, if you got one guy left and it's James Cook, you got to feel pretty good about that when you're harboring and.
But he's got the 86 points in his pocket. I'm not sure that Eric can get there, but it'll be a surprise if Eric wakes up in the morning at 9-0. So
yeah, so there, yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, he's got Jaden Daniels, but Daniels hasn't really been a world beater. He's been very consistent, always around that 28-point average that he's got. But I mean, he's going to need just a monster game out of him. And again, he's going up against the Bears. So if there's anyone to do it against, it's the Bears. They did hold him down last year pretty well. Maybe that's just going to make him more motivated. But he does. He needs a monster game out of Jaden Daniels, I think, to have a chance here. And then it'll be one to watch a little more closely. But for now, Aaron comes in the league. He plays his cousin, undefeated Eric. And right now it looks like he's going to take him down and win his first game back. So kudos to Aaron. All right. Going over here to Sean. This one's a brutal beating.
This one, Sean's actually got he's got them twofold. So if every point was worth 2 points for Josh, it'd be a tie game right now, but that's not the case. So Sean and his Broncos are up by 164 points, which is more points than what Josh has right now, which is absolutely crazy. And he's got one player left, an Armstrong defensive end. Josh has got 3 players left, a Dunze. He's got a choice in either Palmer or Komet in the flex, and a defensive tackle either in Newton or Onyemata. So he's got a couple choices, but not 160 points worth of choices. So rough game for Josh. Josh is probably going to be right around that 200-point mark. So it'd be tough to win when you just break in 200.
Yeah, interesting start going with Tua as his quarterback. He's got 3 starting quarterbacks. I guess maybe he thought that. I mean, it was a high-scoring game, but Tua against that Chargers defense wouldn't have been real high on my list. But he ended up throwing 3 interceptions and scoring 12 points. Not that it would have made a big difference. We can probably move off this one because that beating is over with. Look away. Don't look at the brutal corpse that is Josh at 4-5. All right, then this one, very interesting game.
This one flips. Then in my mind, this one flips. Dustin and his Titans, they're up by 16. He's final and complete. KC Mike, he's got 1 player left, and that's in Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams at least gets his 16, 17 points for a victory here.
Yeah, I think it's a shoe-in. Williams has been really solid. He's got rushing upside to where he has a very high floor. I think this one's over, and it's a big win for Mike. Dustin had been riding on, 3 or 4 game win streak.
Yep.
Looks like a 3-game win streak for the Titans will come to an end. And big win down there for Kansas City Mike as he maintains that lead. Sean obviously is winning big. So Mike winning keeps him that 1 game ahead down there in the AFC West. So that's a big one. I mean, you got to watch it. You got to make sure. But I think by the first half, Mike will be going to bed saying, hey, I got this one on lock. All right. Then we stay in the Southwest here, watching the South take on the West. And this looks like 3 in a row for the West. Jared with just a huge lead. Jason, there you go. Guy that asked, can I start Quinn Ewers? I said, yeah, go for it, buddy.
Well,
so he did.
For what it's worth, Quinn Ewers was a better play than Cooper Rush this week. So
yeah,
at least he was even on 0. So tip the cap to Jason on not starting Cooper Rush. It's not on his roster, but he didn't trade for him either. So
brutal.
So anyways, not very often where you play a quarterback and 0 points is better than the -4, -0.4. Anyways, this one's over. Jared's up by 140. He's still got 4 players left. Swift, a kicker, safety, linebacker Edmonds. 4 players left for Jason. Not going to be enough. Jason's going to fall for 3 and 6. Heard through the rumor mill that he is all about that pink license plate. He wants it again. Just keep it on his car.
He certainly puts in the work to make sure he gets it every season. I mean, you look at his team, and yeah, he had some guys underperform pretty badly. I mean, that's just bad performances all around. But then you go down and be like, oh, maybe he should have plugged in 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's like, this is Jason. This is not a good team. I'm a little worried about the status of Julian Love. If I click on this, unlikely to go. Okay, it looks like you're safe. You won't get a penalty for this because he was ruled out on Sunday. But yeah, I think if I was looking at that, I probably would have plugged in old, what is his name here, McKinney, and at least got another 10 points. This might be the lowest score of the year. We'll have to go back and check that. But this one is certainly a brutal ass kicking. And Jared moves to the right side of 500, gets back to his winning ways after a little 3-game slide that he had. He's going to put up a nice, respectable score. And that is looking like a pretty tough division out there. I think I said they were 3-0, but actually it looks like if the Raiders can hold on, they will do a clean sweep the West over the South.
So if I'm Jason, I'm probably looking at moving Barkley, and he's got, you can move Barkley, could probably move Bradley Chubb, and he could probably also move Karlaftis. He's got some players there to move, get some draft picks for next year, especially in Barkley. Probably a couple first. I mean, at least a first, maybe two. Barkley's probably once he gets going, he's probably going to be a momentum changer for somebody down the stretch.
Yeah, Jason's got a chunk of draft picks, and it's time to add to that stock pool and just get ready for next year. Hopefully, he can win one or two more games. Like we mentioned, he's already doubled his win total from last season, so he's doing great.
But, well, he also said that in week 3, I think it was. So
yeah, yeah, the beat goes on, and it'll be a 4-game slide for him now, and looking to probably be the caboose. I think at this point, no, Gavin will actually be 1 game behind him, because it looks like Gavin's not going to win. So Gavin is still the caboose right now in the AFC.
But Jason needs to get some depth on that team. So
yeah, that's a real issue right now. All right, let's jump over to the NFC. See what we got going on. Starting with a great game here.
This is a great game. 2 playoff teams from last year. Actually, 2 really good teams in the division. I put them both in the playoffs yet this year. Green Bay, he's up by 25. He's got 1 player left with Wagner. Washington's coming in. He's got 3 players left, Buffalo coach and the Buffalo offense versus running back Swift. I think it's a close game. I mean, if Wagner goes off and does his 20 or 20 plus points, Green Bay Mike's got it. But within 25 points, 3 players left. I think Dan's got a chance here. This is probably a really close one. We wake up in the morning. Not sure. It might be within that 3 to 5 point range. So this may be a Thursday morning stat correction. Pay attention to it. Not real tight, but close enough to pay some attention to it.
Yeah, it's a little deceiving because of the 3-1 players, right? But one of them being Coach McDermott for Buffalo. He's going to get you 7, maybe 10 points. Then the offense for the Commanders, again, you can, or Buffalo, actually. He's got both those, but
he's got Buffalo's offense.
Yeah, so he's probably going to have, somewhere around 24 points out of those 2, which kind of knots it up then, right, and makes it really close, almost a tie game. So then it does come down to that last player.
Down to Swift versus Wagner.
Yeah, and I usually you go with an offensive player. I think if it's me, I'd probably rather have Wagner in that situation. But it's going to be a weird matchup. They're going to be going head-to-head. So, like, every time Swift runs and Wagner tackles him, it's like nobody got a point. It's going to be a fun one to watch, and that's the late game tonight. So I really do fully expect this one to come down. Probably almost automatically has to be a Thursday stat correction game. But definitely one to watch tonight, and 2 of the highest scoring teams this week. One of them's got to lose. So
one of them's got to lose. That's the bad part about it.
Brutal set of circumstances for those 2 guys. Dan comes into this riding a 5-game winning streak after starting 0-3. He's now 5-3, so he really needs the win, but so does Mike. He's one of the highest scoring teams in the league. He's actually scoring way higher than anyone else in the North. They were all respectable, but he's scoring 341. He's going to be well over that. It already is over that. So, yeah, he's could be one of the highest scoring teams in the league and on the wrong side of 500. That's just brutal.
Yep.
But tough break, man. Really feel for you, Mike. Heart goes out and all that good stuff. All right. Other Mike.
All right. This one we got almost 100 points, 99 points. Shannon and his Eagles, he's final, but he's got a 99-point lead. Chicago Mike's got 4 players left. He's got Caleb Williams, linebacker Sewell, and Lattimore, cornerback, and I didn't write down who his 4th player was. Not that it matters. I'm not sure he's coming up with 100 points to overcome. I mean, it's got to be crazy, but I'm giving the win to Shannon here. Shannon's going to go to 5-4, and Mike is still in the sell mode. He is going to fall to 1-8, and I think I checked the other day, and I think he's got like 24 draft picks, which is absolutely crazy for 2026.
That is wild, man. He will, I'm sure, look to consolidate some of those, move up in the draft, that kind of thing. He's got the firepower to do that. But yeah, as for this week, the 100-point deficit, it's possible. He's got Caleb. Caleb could go off again. He threw 45 points up the other week, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that Caleb has a really big game and gets him back in this. But I don't think Mike really cares too much right now if he wins or loses. Maybe he does. Mike, you let us know if I'm wrong, but I think right now he's fully building for next year. And he's got some studs. Ibuka did not have a good game, which kind of surprised everybody because he was the focal point. But then I think he became the focal point of that Niners defense too, and they did a good job of shutting him down because Tampa Bay scored points. But
I think they did an MRI on him for MCL, I believe.
Oh no, is that right? Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Click on him. I think he left hurt, and they were going to do an MRI on him.
Oh, that's brutal. So yeah, I didn't get to watch those games. I just watched.
I didn't watch it. I think I read it. Let me.
Oof. That's rough for the Bucks, man.
Hamstring. Okay, suffers a hamstring injury. Okay, so it's not an MCL or an ACL.
Yeah, so he went out. At least they made the announcement in the third quarter. So he did play long enough to do something. But wow, that'll be interesting for the 5-1 NFL Bucks. See how they can recover from that. That's rough. Again, heart goes out. Heart just going out to everybody. But yeah, I think we'll probably call this one for Shannon at this point. We'll go ahead and put a chalk up a win for him in the win column, and that might be big because he's chasing Donnie. And Donnie is.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say he's winning, and he's winning decently, but he's down to his last player, and it's just a coach.
Just a coach.
You're thinking he's probably going to get to 325, which means Hayden, who also desperately needs a win, only has about 60 points to make up, and he's got 4 guys left to do it. He's
got 4 players left. One of them is kicker, safety. He's got 2 safeties, Bishop and Bird. And then he's got Caden Ellis coming back. Not sure if that's enough for 60 points. 15 a point. It could happen. What's interesting is this is a possible playoff matchup. You got 2 teams at 6-2, 5-3, both with playoff implications. If somebody's taking a loss here, it's going to be tougher one for Hayden to swallow if he falls down to 5-4. Versus Donnie, we're falling to 6-3. So, it'll be close. But I think Donnie probably hangs on to this one. Be a tough loss for Hayden. Sorry, Hayden, if you're listening.
I'm going the other way on this. I am. I'm going the other way on this. Matt Prater kicking should put up some points. I'm giving him 10 points. And then all he really needs is, again, like you said, about 15 points from his other guys. Caden Ellis has been a disappointment, only averaging 15. But, he's got himself a decent matchup. As we predicted, Buffalo should take a lead and then run the ball a lot.
Yep.
Giving Ellis a chance to gobble up a bunch of tackles. I think that's going to be the difference. And it's absolutely going to come down to it. But I think Hayden's going to come back and win this, which is huge for him. Puts them both at 6-3, of course. And then Hayden, stays right there, even, at least for now, even with Detroit Lions at the top of the NFC North.
And as Jordan just pointed out, a tough one for Hayden. With Fred Warner being out for the year. I don't know if you caught that one or not, but Fred Warner's out for the year. Going to be filling up the IR spot with that one.
Oh, that's brutal. I did not see that. That sucks, man. Again, oh gosh, got him 1 assist and then got hurt too. Dislocated ankle. That's not fun. That's not fun. And then you see Aaron just traded for him over the AFC. Whoops. It's not funny. Kind of funny. But yeah, that's brutal, man. That's going to be tough for him to make up. His linebackers performed really well, so to have Warner would have been obviously key for him in a run. But I think he's going to keep fighting. He's got to keep fighting. But yeah, let's go ahead and get over to Jordo and see how he's doing. He's down right now, and I think I saw him predict that he's not coming back. He's made that statement. Maybe he's trying to do some kind of what do you call that? Trickery,
reverse psychology.
That's it.
Yeah, reverse psychology. I'm not expecting anything, so if I throw in the towel now, maybe I'll get the victory. But Caleb coming in at 0-8. I don't know if this is a bigger upset. If this would be a bigger upset than the Aaron versus the Raiders versus the Jags. I don't know what's bigger, the 8-0 team going down or the 0-8 team getting a win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves an underdog, so I mean, you got to root for Caleb here to get his first win, and that way, this is a more fun game. It's a bottom barrel versus a first place team as well. So really, this and the other game you mentioned are both kind of the games of the week in a way. And then, of course, the Green Bay Commanders game that's been the most fun one to watch. But this one is, it's got its meaning. So I love to see it. He's got Gregory Rousseau left to go. he hasn't done much. Can he get to Penix tonight? Maybe. He had a good week 5, so he's trending in the right direction. If he can certainly throw up another 26 points, and I think we could definitely say this one's over, and the advantage goes to Caleb. Because Jordan's got 4 guys left, but let's say he's going to be down somewhere in the realm of, I mean, it's 70 points right now, 72 points. It's probably going to be at least 85 points or something like that. 4 guys, each averaging 21 points per game. I mean, who's he got? He's got a guy on offense.
He's got Drake. He's got Drake London, 2 corners, and a safety in Bates. So Stevenson and Simmons still. Again, like you just said, I don't know if it's enough to come up with 80 points. So
Bates has been a huge disappointment. Honestly, that's a tough one for him because I think Geno Stone had a really good game on his bench, didn't he? Yeah, 25 points sitting on his bench right there. So that's kind of rough. Didn't start Jamo Winston, who ended up having a good game. Would have been one of his top scorers would have been his top scorer, including his quarterback on offense. So that's kind of a tough one. He's going to be kicking himself a little bit over this. But yeah, hard to see this happening, being that it's 2 cornerbacks, even though they're good cornerbacks, high-scoring cornerbacks. I think Caleb's taking his first win here. I think I agree with you, Jordo. This one's a lost cause, buddy. You can go to bed early and do your shower cries at 9 o'clock and then just get a good night's sleep.
Yep.
All right, Dave, we're looking at you, man.
All right. Come in at 7-1. San Francisco's 4-4. We both have 2 players left. I'm up by 43. He's got San Francisco. Matt's got Jaden Daniels, left quarterback, and defensive end Zach Harrison. I know Harrison's averaging like 14 a game. I just don't see it out of the Atlanta's end pieces. I've still got Bajan. I got a choice in Algier Kincaid. I've already changed it up. I'm going with the double running back tonight. I'm going with Algier instead of Kincaid. Kincaid's been hurt all week. Had the red jersey on this week, no contact jersey for him. So I'm not sure if he plays the whole game or not. So I'm going up with the backup quarterback and the insurance policy in Algier. So
yeah, probably the right move there, right? Interesting little side note, too. Bryce Young, who had a good game this last week, I think he's actually averaging more than Jaden Daniels. No, that's not true. That's right. Daniels was out a couple weeks. I'm like, how is this? He's scored more, but I forgot about that. Like, damn, that's weird. But no, Jaden Daniels is obviously the guy he's playing tonight. Again, should have a good game against the Bears, but I think you've got a pretty comfortable lead here, knowing that you got the 2 offensive players even against his quarterback.
I need to get a defensive end that knows how to freaking grab some points here. I think this is 2 weeks in a row that I'm averaging probably about 2.5 points out of my defensive end, and Bosa being gone has really hurt. And the trade with the Eagles last week to get rid of Nwosa for Hunter backfired on me also. So
yeah, Hunter on the bye. Yeah, you're incredibly thin, and you're starting Abdul Carter. I think you need to get on the trade block for sure. Trevon Walker shouldn't have a lot of games like that, but yeah.
Well, Trevon Walker's got a broken wrist, and he didn't play last week, and he's actually got a cast. He played this week with, I'm not sure of the snap counts that he had, but he played with a cast on all day yesterday. But that's just how thin I was. So
yeah, that's brutal. That is brutal. Yeah,
I'll just say one other thing. I have no luck in picking the correct quarterback. I've been going back between Hebert and Drake Mays. And again, Mays has the better day again. So whoever I put on the bench, I've gotten it right like 2 times in 6 weeks. So I am like 2-4 picking the correct quarterback.
Nice. I'm just going to watch when you start, and then I'm going to start betting on the other guy.
I probably got to move one of them so I don't have that choice.
There you go.
It'd be a lot easier if I didn't have a choice.
If one of them was Cooper Rush, you'd have a much easier decision.
That's true.
That'd be nice.
I still got Penix left too. Picked him up off the taxi squad a couple weeks ago.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what he does tonight. Very, very interested to see what he does. All right. Look at this one, man. Crazy close on paper. Break it down for us. I mean, I know Adam's got offense left, and that's always a plus.
Yeah, this one's a push right now. Scott's up by a point. He's got a running back, Crosby Merritt left, McCaffrey, tight end Ertz, linebacker either Bernard or Luvu. I'm going to guess he's probably going to go with Luvu on this one. Flick's got 4 left also, and Odunze, kicker, Briscar, and Boza. I think it's a game.
It's hard to call this one, isn't it?
It's hard to tell.
I mean, again, so 3 offensive guys and a linebacker left for Scott. That's probably leading me to push him over the edge. They're not the 3 most amazing offensive pieces, but again, one of them is running back going against that Bears defense. He should have himself a day. And I think Scott's going to be okay here. I think he's going to get a big win. Pushing Adam down a little bit. Adam, right there in the thick of it in the NFC South. But with you getting a very fortunate and easy win and moving to 8-1, this loss would be a pretty bad one for Adam.
Well, I love this. Flick is also doing this. My team is horrible. I'm packing it in. And since he started saying that like 3 weeks ago, he has not lost. So he is on a winning streak. I think when his quarterback went down, Burrows went down, he said he was packing it in. And yet here he is sitting at 5-3, throwing Mac Jones out there and winning games. So
yeah, I don't know if he'll pull this one off. And he did leave a lot of points on the bench. Man, did he ever? Had some big performers on the bench. That's rough. And instead starts Austin Ajiake, linebacker for the Colts, who got himself a whole point for running into the quarterback one time. Yikes. Flick, if you lose this one, it's your own fault, dude. You messed up your lineup here. You had some bad choices, man. And for Scott,
Scott and his Rams, he's looking for a win in the worst way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not out of things by any means. The West, I know Arizona's starting to kind of take over, but we saw that Matt is probably losing for sure. And that means that Scott's still got a chance. He's got reasons to fight there, especially if he can win this week and start to draw closer. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to pull this one out.
Yep.
All right. Tampa Bay. Yeah.
This one also surprises me. Jeff and his Cardinals come in at 6-2. Tampa Bay and Dustin is 2-6, but here we got this game where Jeff has run out of a quarterback until Purdy gets back and starts throwing the ball again. He starts playing Cooper Rush, getting almost a negative half a point out of your quarterback play isn't going to help. So we've got 2 different teams here, one that's 6-2, one that's 2-6. And right now we find the 2-6 team up by 38 points with 6 left to play. With Pitts, tight end Pitts, punter, cornerback Johnson, safety Rapp, Edmonds, and defensive tackle and Newton. Aaron's got 2 left, or Jeff in Arizona's got 2 players left, and Debo and Armstrong defensive end. I don't think that's enough, and I think Tampa Bay Dustin pulls off the upset here in the MDFL land and knocks off the first place team in the NFC West.
Yeah, I think absolutely too. And again, that's huge for Scott. Good news for Matt, who's suffering the loss this week on a bad week, that they're going to still stay within distance. That should absolutely drop Jeff to 6-3. Still a good record. He's still got a good, strong team. Just a bad week, man. Sitting at 199 and being almost out of players, not where you want to be. So he'll have to take a look. But like you said, he should get Brock Purdy back. But I think he's got a bye. Okay, he's a week 14 bye, so oh my gosh. So even when he does make the playoffs, he's going to be faced with that issue unless he can get an MDFL first round bye in the playoffs. So yeah, Jeff, it may be time to get a backup quarterback.
Well, you may want to get another quarterback because I believe Baltimore's on their bye next week.
Oh,
I want to say Baltimore's on their bye next week, and if Pickett doesn't play, Purdy doesn't play, you better come trading for one. Come and trade one back for Penix. Give me something more than the 7th that it cost me to get it from you. So no, I think I paid a 5th and a 6th. So
yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't a 7th.
It was a drafted pick, so it was a 5th and a 6th.
If he throws a 4th rounder at you, you gonna take it?
Probably be more able to take it if he threw a defensive end at me.
Yeah, there you go. That may be the move to make. His defensive end's kind of let him down, but he does have Jaden Phillips still on the bench. So.
Hey, 8.5 points out of a defensive end. That's scoring 3 times more than what I'm normally getting out of my defensive ends.
Yeah, that's a dreamy weekend for you.
So
but yeah, Jeff's falling this week. Big win for Dustin. Kind of keeps himself, at least in the conversation up there, and then he can figure out what he wants to do with his team. But they're going to come up to that 300-point level. So a good week for him. He's got some decisions to make. All right, our last game looks like it's over, and
This one's pretty much over. Again, Brent and his Saints are playing very well. He comes in at 5-3. This game he's up by 61, and he's still got Josh Allen on his bench and defensive end Sweat. So he's got a lot of power left. Seattle's got 3 left: running back Cook and wide receiver Shakir, safety Watts. Not enough to overcome the 61 points plus Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is the difference maker. It doesn't matter what Sweat does in this game. So I think Josh Allen comes up big tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so too. So, some interesting starts here for Brent, but it looks like it's all going to work out pretty well for him. Starting that Giants offense, got him 20 points right there. That was a good sign of things to come. And then his defense really overall performed pretty well outside of Cam Jordan. Pretty good showing overall for his defense, and that's going to carry him through. And so he's going to be right there, just a couple games behind you. You'll be 8-1, and he'll be 6-3. And looking pretty solid, at least have a very good chance. I think he might be the number 5 seed at that point if he does.
I looked at it last week, and I want to say he was either the 5 or the 6 seed. So,
so not a bad position to be. Big win for Brent. Had to have it. Josh falling to 3-6 is going to make it tough for him. But again, there was a big slip up all over in the NFC West. Could very easily be the Scots the only one that wins, and it just kind of condenses that division out there and makes it a little bit tighter. So nothing's over. Nothing's over in the West, in the NFC for sure. All right, let's check out our Survivor pool. It's getting pretty gritty.
Well, Survivor pool, all 3 of you got it right this week. 2 of you taking Green Bay, 1 of you taking Pittsburgh. So I cannot believe that we've still got 3 active after 6 weeks. I think we were on our 3rd Survivor pool last year when we did this at week 6. So we need some upsets next week so the rest of us can get back in this and play it again.
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch who's got who left. Green Bay, obviously one of the better NFL teams. Jeff still got them, so he can play them. Pitt was kind of a ballsy call, in my opinion, by him, but it worked out. Green Bay even had some scares against the rudderless Bengals team now that they've got Flacco. That was actually a little bit nerve-wracking for a little bit there. Buffalo has been used by both of these guys in week 4. I've got Buffalo left, so I feel pretty good about that. If I need to make a tougher decision, I try and save teams like that. And hopefully it'll come down.
Well, I don't think you're using Buffalo next week because I think Buffalo's on a bye next week.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the games next week. That's just something to keep in mind. But, let's go to our NFL pool results here.
And I cannot believe it, but I got to give a shout out to Sean because he got it. He's leading the pack right now with 11 picks right. A bunch of us at 10 and 9, but somehow Sean's got 11. So
yeah.
Not exactly sure how that happened. But
yeah, he got nothing too weird. Seattle. I mean, he just picked a couple of swing games, I guess. He did miss Carolina, which shame on me. Shame on me. All year I've picked Carolina, and I didn't pick them this week, and they ended up winning.
Well, I think Carolina goes down next week. I'm going to call it right now. I think the 0-6 Jets beat Carolina in New York next week. So
I'll be picking Carolina because Justin Fields sucks. Oh man, but yeah. So I mean, for Sean, he got a lot of the swing like KC. Obviously got that one right. Getting Seattle right over Jacksonville was his difference versus me. That was, I think, the only game that he and I had different was that Jacksonville game. So he just kind of called him as he needed to.
Well, if Sean plays his cards right and gets the 2 right tonight, he'll have the high picks for the week. So
yep, and he'll make up at least a little bit of ground. Even if Brent does the same thing, Brent's our leader right now with 63 right, then you're at 61. I've got 60. No matter what, Sean is making up some gap and covering some ground in there because I think the other 3 of us are all at 10 right now. So he's only making up 1 game, but still, that's
one game is a lot.
1 game at a time. Yep, absolutely. Jordan stays right there as well in the hunt. Scott stays right there, although he did slip up one, taking San Francisco over Tampa Bay. That cost him a little bit. And then, I mean, Dan's still right there. Jeff is still right there. Mike is still right there. And I love to see Dustin continuing to fight. He got 9 right this week. Really, the only one that had a tough week was Dan. He made a couple ballsy calls, I guess. Detroit, no-so. San Francisco, no-so. Taking Cleveland over Pitt was a fantastic and wild thing to do, and that did not work out for him. But sometimes you got to take some chances. So kudos to him for doing that. All right, man. Anything else you want to look at?
One other thing, you can pull up the high scores for the week. Do player research, do player research. Top performers up top. Click on week 6.
Boom.
See who went off. We already talked about Rico Dowdle going off for 49 points. Of course, somebody had Scadaboo last night for 42 points sitting on the bench, but I guess when you're getting 49 points out of Rico, it doesn't really matter, right?
What are you going to do? These are good. We like these highlights. I'm very pleased to see these highlights. Shamari Connor putting up a huge game at safety with 31 was big. Jalen Hurts just having kind of a normal game, even though he did nothing in the second half. Good numbers. Jackson Smith and Jigba proving that he can be a true wide receiver 1. So I love seeing all my guys up here, but overall, Mahomes kind of had the game everybody thought he was going to have against the banged up Detroit secondary. So no surprise to see him as the top quarterback. Drake May, again, love to see Drake May. He's on your bench, but number 2 quarterback. And then who was our number 1 wide receiver? I think we got Pickens. Yep. Outscored by Goddard again. Gavin with that savvy trade for Goddard. And then we got a defensive end up here with 2 of them. Byron Young just continues, honestly, to exceed my expectations. I thought he'd have a good year, but he's been unbelievable. I think he's had at least a half a sack in every game. Unsustainable, obviously, but I'm gonna ride that as long as I can, and then hopefully Van Ginkel will come back for me, and I'll have 2 guys up here. But some good performances. Top scoring kicker didn't seem to have made it, but we do have our top defensive end here, Jeffrey Simmons, having himself a day, and that's another Baltimore guy. So Gavin being 1-7, he's got a couple guys up there. But,
Gavin's got a couple of guys that he could trade away.
There you go. Assets, move them. I don't know if I'll trade Jeffrey Simmons though.
Other than that, the week is up. We got a new owner in the league, Aaron Hargrove, taking over the Raiders. His week of no trades, no solicitation is up after tomorrow, because I think he took over Tuesday. So we'll see probably Wednesday, Thursday that trade machine starting to happen there in Las Vegas. I'm sure Aaron is just itching at the bit to be trading for some players. So
yeah, and apparently I did screw up Jamo Winston. Did I say whatever, man? Shut up, Jordan.
Hey, and I'm going to say, hey Bear, when you had Bobby Haybear, the old Cajun quarterback, play for Atlanta, it's pronounced Haybear.
There you go. We'll allow
the old Cajun QB.
I've never heard it before, and I've heard it now, and I love it. So Haybear it is. Haybear and Jamo Winston.
So,
all right, man.
Actually, I've ate at his restaurant down in New Orleans a couple times. So he was a New Orleans Saint quarterback. Got traded to the Falcons.
Yeah. That old dude. That was back in like the early 80s or something like that.
Yeah, back when I was a kid and impressionable. So
yeah, there you go. Nice, man. Well, Dave, I appreciate you always being ready, having the ammunition and knowing how to make these calls. So thank you for that, because I continue to be a big slacker and I'm almost never done any prep. So I'm just taking Mike's role. Mike's role is to not be very prepared. I'm the new Mike.
Yep.
So.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Go Falcons, go Bijan. May Bijan have a big night. Let Algier get a couple carries too. So
not too many.
A couple. I'm gonna play them both.
It's gonna be anyways,
see you guys next week.
Later, guys. Later, Dave.